I get a kick out of when Republicans try to take credit for the 72-hour rule, by the way, a rule that I wrote when I was chairman of the Rules Committee.
I rise in strong support of the House Rules package. This package maintains reforms at the 72-hour rule and the cut-go rule that we instituted in the 118th Congress. It also continues the Holman rule, requires CBO to review the inflationary impacts of certain legislation, increasing mandatory spending, officially eliminates the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, and ensures that we have continuity in the speakership.
And there are no changes to the 72-hour rule in this rules package. The only changes the Republicans made was they waived it a few times in the last Congress. In fact, they waived it on the continuing resolution bill, which was massive, that we dealt with before the holiday break. So, but anyway, I'm glad that some of the things that I put into place still remain, and I appreciate the nice words. Mr. Speaker, the last election was one of the closest in history. Republicans have the slimmest majority in nearly a century. A shift of just a few thousand votes, and this chamber would be led by Democrats. But it seems my friends didn't get the message, and they don't get it still. They don't listen. Americans do not want Republican extremism. They want cooperation. They want Congress to focus on compromise, not chaos. They don't want the far right running this place. You know what? When I talk to people in my district, they're sick of all of this. They're sick of all of this. They're tired of the fighting, the toxicity, and the partisanship. They want us to work together to get stuff done. And the very first thing that Republicans are doing, they're making this place even more polarized, more toxic, and more dysfunctional. Republicans want to double down on the political infighting and the extremism. Even these rules are designed to ram through their extremism. Look closely at the bills that they are paving the way for. Anyone notice what is missing? They're not doing a single thing they promised to do. They ran on the economy. They talked about egg prices and gas. You know, where is that today? Nothing for workers, nothing to lower food prices, nothing about rent prices or helping people buy homes, nothing about inflation or prescription drugs, nothing on creating jobs, nothing on the economy. Someone should ask, what happened to all their promises? Was it all BS? And look at the people that they're putting in power. First of all, they're turning the White House cabinet into a junk drawer full of out-of-touch billionaires and insiders. Nobody who understands the struggles of regular people. His Treasury Secretary, a billionaire. His Education Secretary, a billionaire. All of his top secretaries, Health and Human Services, Energy, Interior. I mean, come on. This is a cabinet of millionaires and billionaires. These people don't pump their own gas. These people don't buy their own groceries. These are total trust fund babies that take helicopters to work, totally out of touch with reality. That's who Republicans are putting in charge. And here's the deal, and here's the reality. Democrats didn't win the last election, and we need to own that. We need to make changes from the ground up. We need to make sure we are of, by, and for the people. We need to do a better job of taking on corporate special interests. But let me be clear, we are not giving up. We are going to show up, and we are going to do what we were sent here to do. We will work with Speaker Johnson when we can, but we will not allow this House to become a rubber stamp for his extremist policies that help insiders and benefit millionaires and billionaires at the expense of everyone else. The American people deserve a hell of a lot better. And I promise you, Democrats will fight for a Congress that works for everyone, not just the powerful, not just the wealthy or the well-connected, but for everyone. That is our commitment and that is our promise. I yield back my time, Mr. Speaker, and I urge a no vote on this package.
This rules package makes very clear what the Republican majority will not do in the 119th Congress. After presiding over the 118th Congress and enacting the least amount of legislation in history signed into law that actually benefits the American people, Republicans want to continue that tradition by fast-tracking 12 bills that do nothing to lower costs or raise wages for the American people. None of the bills prioritized in this package take on the biggest corporations and wealthiest individuals who profit from the high prices and junk fees and corporate concentration that's harming Americans across this country. Because guess what? These corporations and wealthy individuals are the ones that are controlling the Republican Party for their own benefit. Just look at the combined wealth of the individuals that Donald Trump has nominated for this cabinet. A total wealth of over $450 billion with a B dollars. And with all those conflicts of interest present and the ethics scandals of numerous Republican members, perhaps that's why this Republican majority no longer wants an Office of Congressional Ethics. That's right, they want to jettison ethics for, quote, conduct. This package tries to fool the American people by scapegoating immigrants and trans people in the hopes that it will distract you from the fact that the first move of Republicans in the 119th Congress is to do absolutely nothing to help you and your family build a better life. Vote no, and I yield back.